Hey, welcome to another proven sales letter breakdown video. This is the 102nd edition of this series, which means that there have been 101 videos before this, and if you haven't seen those or you just want to watch those again, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to the entire proven sales letter breakdown playlist. Check it out, there's awesome stuff there. But I wanted to necessarily break this down, even though at the moment I'm doing email breakdowns in 2022, but I wanted to break this down because I stumbled on this direct mail promotion in Brian Kurtz's Titans Xcellerator mastermind. Someone just showed this to the group and I was so blown away by it. And it's from Russel Brunson of all people. Yes, the Russel Brunson behind Clickfunnels. It's all about online business and funnels and stuff like that. And yet he's sending you a direct mail promotion with an amazing sales letter. So we're gonna break this down. It's going to be a super in-depth video, but if you've been following my work for some time, you know how I roll and how I do this. But before we dive deeper into the sales letter itself, I just wanted to show you two images of the envelope itself, because whenever you're sending out direct mail, the envelope is also super important. So this is how it looks like from the front, People's Community National Bank, and it has this nice green, almost Rolex-like color. So it's definitely something unique, right? Like when people get this little pouch, they're like, whoa, I gotta open this. And Gary Halbert called these things, well, not exactly the envelope itself, but a mechanism that you use before people actually read your message to get their attention. And he called these grabbers. And I think this in itself could be a great grabber because it's definitely different. And this is how it looks like from the back. And kudos to Gabe Arnold from the TXL group. He actually posted this inside the group as well, and I'm super thankful for you, Gabe, if you're watching this, because you made this possible. You made this video actually possible. So this is how the envelope looks like, and we can already see that this is something special. This is something unique, and Russell is actually spending a lot of money, sending this out to people, even though the main call to action is basically to get people on the webinar. However, he can get away with this because this doesn't go out to cold audiences. This goes out to people who've already been at his Funnel Hacking Live event at least one time. So this is and it's the first thing that you see on the sales letter itself, for Funnel Hacking Live alumni only. So this basically means that this is an exclusive offer, an exclusive sales letter offered only to people who've been in his world already, who've spent money with him, who've been there live, so they probably dropped several $100s at least in Russell's world. So that's why he knows that basically this is a back-end offer. You offer this to already existing customers. He knows that the average order value from at the end of this funnel is going to be way higher than he has to spend on these cute envelopes and printing the letters and sending them out and all that stuff. And it's a scientifically proven fact in marketing, Dan Kennedy is a huge fan of this, that direct mail still performs super well, and the highest quality leads you still get from an offline marketing channel, not from the online, not from Google ads or Facebook ads or YouTube ads. Those are okay in most cases, and sure, there are high quality customers from there as well, but it's uncomparable with offline. You still get way higher average order values and lifetime customer values with offline, sorry. So something to keep in mind. So with that being said, we got to cover this entire sales letter, and as you can see, there's a lot of things marked up. I like to mark up my letters that I analyze this way. And if you want to get access to this PDF along with the 101 other sales letters from legendary copywriters like Eugene Schwartz, Gary Halbert, Gary Bensevenga, Clayton Makepeace, Stefan Georgi, Mel Martin, Victor Schwab, all these people, then there's also going to be a link in the description to a special page where you can get basically all these marked up pages, marked up swipe files if you want. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump into this. there's a pre-head element here. There's a main headline, a sub-headline, and then we get into the lead itself. And the page itself isn't really that super long, and it's full of like marked up elements, full of personality, full of bolded elements, a lot of yellow. It looks ugly, to be honest. It looks super ugly, but the fact of the matter is ugly converts. Ugly out converts beautiful in most cases, and that's why there's always some like kind of like a Cold War type of thing going on between direct response copywriters and pure designers, because designers, they want the beautiful stuff. They want something that's pleasing to the eye, you know, that's minimalist. But great conversion rate optimization experts and copywriters know that that doesn't convert. You have to be in your face, you have to be ugly. That usually converts way better, like this type of yellow. I mean, it is what it is. So let's see what's happening here. The pre-head element is basically, it's very nice. It's there to establish exclusivity and qualify people and make them feel like you are special. So for FHL alumni only, again, this is Funnel Hacking Live. Note, I have only sent this secret letter, so there's already curiosity there, to people who have attended Funnel Hacking Live in the past. No one else got this, in all caps. No one else got this. So there's huge exclusivity here, making people feel special. Please keep it a secret from non-funnel hackers. So there's already like an us versus them mentality going on here. Russell purposefully wants people reading this feel like part of an exclusive club. And whenever you're doing these back-end offers, it's usually a good idea to make them feel special, elevate them, right? Make them feel like they're part of an exclusive inner circle. And that's one of the prerequisites of charging higher prices. So probably the end result of this, I honestly don't know what the product is because I missed this webinar and I haven't been to Funnel Hacking Live. So I probably wouldn't qualify anyway, but safe to say it's kind of like a high ticket thing. So then the main headline, it's very interesting because it's not your typical templatized headline, not like those typical templates that you see all over the place. It's unique, it's special. It starts with, it's 3:21 a.m. I just fell deep down the rabbit hole. Which rabbit hole? And there's a cute little image of rabbit there as well, the NFT one. And what I discovered is so important, I had to send you this, I had to send this to you in a sealed bank bag. So now we get the reason why, explanation why it's in this bag. It's so important, I had to bypass spam filters and make sure you did not miss it. So there's an organic reason why element here. And if you've been studying the work of Gary Bencivenga, you know how important reason why elements are whenever you're trying to back up your urgency or your scarcity or your offer with a logical explanation why you're actually doing this. So why you send them this? Well, because it's super important. But the only way you can get away with being super important is if you assume that this is really exclusive, and that's why it's going out only to some people. And the other thing that's happening here is that this headline teases a unique new discovery. We've all been in the situation where we, I don't know, research some random thing and it was like 3:21 a.m. and we fell deep down the rabbit hole. People can definitely like associate themselves with this, but the biggest kicker here is what I discovered was so important, I had to send you this in a sealed bank bag. So there's a unique new discovery here. It's kind of like a secret element to it because at this point you don't know it, but I still think that from a, like there's this book called Great Leads from Michael Masterson, John Ford, that explains that talks about 6 different types of leads. And based on that qualification, I think this is kind of like a promise lead because it promises them something really unique. Or it could be like part secret lead, part promise lead. I don't know, leave a comment. What do you think? I'm really curious because sometimes it's not so straightforward with leads. Sometimes it's not that easy to like make that distinction. But the reason why I think it's promise lead is because of this part. And this is like the most important part so far, I think, of this whole page. Read this full letter because as an FHL alumni, you are entitled to an NFT worth $10,000 that I need to send you. Wow, right? So this is the real promise. You are entitled. First of all, this appeals to their ego. It's kind of like it presupposes that it's like already yours. Like you just have to ask for it. It's already yours. That, makes it much more likely for people to respond to this. An NFT worth $10,000. Wow. Like that salivates their greed glands, as Gary Halbert would say. A $10,000 worth NFT. That's crazy, right? And this is going out to audiences who are on average a little younger, funnel hacker people, and they most likely know what NFTs are. But even if they don't, they've probably heard about them at this point. NFTs, these are non-fungible tokens, and they're kind of like, in most cases, some sort of digital art on the blockchain. I'm not an NFT expert, to be honest, so I don't know the exact definition for them. But it's whenever you see those funny pictures of pixelated monkeys that sold for $600,000, and everybody's freaking out, like, how can you pay so much for a JPEG image? Well, that's what NFTs are, and a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon, and probably Russell also saw some sort of unique new opportunity to capitalize on this, on the hype around NFTs. So he's just getting with the times. But the big promise is here is that you can also get an NFT worth $10,000, and like he actually needs to send you this. So wow, Russell's sending me an NFT worth $10,000. Like I gotta find out what this whole thing is about. So that's why I think it's a promise lead. And all in all, this whole headline complex, it's super appealing. Like I want to know, like, whoa. And the first time I saw this, it actually made me decide to do this proven sales letter breakdown video. So it definitely works. So then we jump into the main part of the letter itself. We have the from Russel Brunson, Boise, Idaho. So this makes it real, it makes it like a letter. So I tried really hard to cover my ears, focus on my funnels, and ignore the big NFT buzz, which basically means that, at first I was skeptical, but then I discovered something so unique, I had to share it with you. And notice this little element here, over. Since this is a direct mail piece, it's going out in physical mail. People have to turn over the page. And these little things, they encourage consumption. And again, the more people consume your sales letter or your marketing materials, the more likely they are to actually buy something from you. So it's super important to make them consume as much of it as possible. And as we go through this, you're gonna see how many things Russell uses to encourage consumption, and how simple and to the point this whole thing is. So there's always this over. It seems like a personal graphical element here, but it's effective at getting people to get to the next page. So, by the way, before we get to the second page, are you enjoying this? It's been a while since I've done these proven sales letter breakdown videos, but if you are, then make sure to hit the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, if for some reason this is your first video, then hit the subscribe button. Also a little notification icon, because I'm publishing tons of videos lately, mainly proven email breakdowns, but I already have tons of proven sales letter breakdown videos as well as all sorts of other marketing and funnel related stuff. So check it out. I definitely recommend you do. So we jump on the second page here, but as I'm sure you noticed, the buzz got really loud. Eventually I had a close friend of mine that I highly respect, Annie Grace, who spoke at FHL 2020, tell me that I needed to look closer. So there's an authority build-up section here. If you think about storytelling, this is kind of like a discovery story. Like, hey, at first I was like this, I was skeptical, but then I met someone who was kind of like a guide, a spiritual guide who showed me the truth, who showed me the light, and now, I cannot go back anymore. I have to share this with you because it's that important. That's the mini story that he's trying to tell you here. So the next section opens up a loop. An open loop. Now, before I talk about what I found, and more importantly, why you should care, so there's, good copywriting always appeals to the reader's desires. It's not about you, it's about them. So why you should care about this. I'm curious, when it comes to NFTs, what type of person are you currently? So this is interesting, to be honest. We're still in the lead section, and the lead means the first few hundred words of copy. It's basically there to get people emotionally riled up for the rest of your marketing argument. And there's a little mini quiz here, if you think about it. And again, I think the reason why he included this is because it encourages consumption more. It makes people identify themselves with one of the types here. There are 3 types. Person number 1, who has no idea what an NFT is, probably a minority at this point in Russell's audience. Person number 2, you think NFTs are just some dumb images that people, for some crazy reason, are spending millions of dollars to buy, and it makes no sense to you. And person number 3, you are convinced that NFTs are the future, and you're betting everything on it. So, and notice these parts here. How personal it seems. This was me, this is me now. So this in itself is also like a mini transformational story. I, Russel Brunson, I was skeptical, but then I saw the light and now I'm a believer. I was just like you, I didn't believe it, but now I'm a believer. And if we know that this letter is going out to people who are already customers, probably relatively high value customers, they already have tons of proof, tons of credibility in Russell's image, and they trust him. So if Russell says something and people trust Russell, they're going to be much more likely to believe this new belief that Russell is talking about. This is very important, and you couldn't really get away with this if this was a colder audience. Your copy would need to be like 5 times longer, because you would have to shift so many of their pre-existing beliefs about this. But since you already have so much trust going on with in this case, you can just quickly get into the action. So this is a really cool element here that you don't really see in most leads, but I think in this case it's effective. Then we continue. Regardless of what you think about NFTs right now, like currently, which doesn't mean like that's your future reality, it's just your current reality, it doesn't matter. What matters is that because you're a past Funnel Hacking Live attendee, so again, there's the reason why. The reason why I'm only giving you this offer is because you've been at these events live. We've probably even met, like you paid for it, you've been there, you've experienced the community. That's why I have created an NFT for you worth $10,000 plus, and I need to give it to you for free. Again, I need to give it to you. This assumes some sort of internal motivation on Russell's part, that this is so important. It's like such a big thing that he actually needs to give it to you for free. And this is the unique new opportunity. And if you've been watching my sales letter or email breakdowns before, you know that for most persuasive sales messages, you need a unique new opportunity. You need to mention one of the key desires of your target audience. In this case, basically an extra $10,000. And you also have to explain how this is all only attainable through your unique mechanism. And I think this checks off every single one of these. There's a unique new opportunity. There's the key greed desire, and the unique mechanism is that we still don't know anything about that, but eventually we're going to discover that he's holding a special live event in which he's actually going to upload these NFTs to your wallet, to your crypto wallet. So that's probably the unique mechanism in itself. So let's continue. I'm pretty sure that I'm now officially person number 3 from above, believing that NFTs are going to be a big part of our future. Not as big or as cool as funnels, but probably a close second. So a little personality plus humor going on here. And as we get deeper and deeper into the letter, we're going to see more and more of Russell's eccentric personality. And I think this is great because whenever you can use humor or personality elements like this, it actually increases your conversions because it creates more trust. And especially with these people, this audience, they probably like Russel, so it probably works. And because of that, I want to take you, just my most hardcore funnel hackers, the ones who have actually attended FHL Live, and give you behind the scenes access to what we're doing so you can get in early and play this game too. So again, this relates to the unique new opportunity, plus it relates to exclusivity. And notice how many times he repeats this. Like, we're only like, I don't know, 300 words in to the copy, and we've seen so many times this this exclusivity element, like funnel hacking live attendees, funnel hacking live attendees, only, you know, for my hardcore funnel hacker friends, only for people who attended funnel hacking live. This is there to like keep reminding people of how special they are, basically. Then he basically presupposes a step-by-step system that kind of ties into the unique, like starts to shift into the unique mechanism itself. So the first step to get you on the inside is I created an NFT that is only for people who have attended Funnel Hacking Live. Again, so much repetition, but it's work. Like I don't know, think about Trump and his, like, love him or hate him. Trump definitely can use language really effectively. And one of the reasons why is because he repeats certain key things many, many times. And I'm not saying that it's good what he's doing, but like it definitely works. Sometimes you need this strategic repetition. So basically the story here is that based on every single one of these funnel hacking live element, like events, Russel created a special NFT for it. And also notice this little question: which FHL did you go to? It adds an extra realness to this whole thing with the 3 question marks, and it seems like it was written by a real human. It's just a font, but it seems like it's more personal. So notice these, it's very specific, and it kind of reminds people of, like, because some people, they might not remember. Yes, I've been to Funnel Hacking Live once, but I don't know when. Oh, yeah, I remember it was Nashville in 2019. Oh, okay, I remember now. So this is there to remind people, and it's very specific. Then we have more repetition, and then we get this part. Because you were there, we have a custom NFT with your name on it. I'll explain the value behind why you'd want this in a minute. So, wow, notice this. It's not just that you're gonna get a free NFT, it's that we already have it. It's a custom NFT with your name on it. Wow, like how exclusive is that, right? It must be really valuable, but since we're trying to encourage even more consumption here, at this point we could give it to people, but why not just shift their beliefs and build more value and talk about more proof elements first, right? So this is kind of like a another open loop element, and it keeps them engaged. So now Russel splits people into 2 groups. The first one is people who basically know what NFTs are, they know how this works, they know that they have to have a wallet, and he, at this point, this is the first indication of how this thing is actually going to work. So he says, note, I'm going on a live 2-hour event on Tuesday, March the 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, just for past Funnel Hacking Live attendees to show you the actual NFTs, and then we will push them into your wallet during the event. Register at, so this is the first call to action, and notice how it's super ugly, how it's circled, but it works. It gets people's attention. Otherwise they might miss it because there are already a lot of bolded elements everywhere. So he's just making, like, he's doing a good job highlighting this, like giving it an extra highlight. So this is the first category. And the second category, and this is really important because it's a huge objection for people. Even if they've heard of NFTs, like I worked with a company who built crypto exchanges and did security token offerings and ICOs, which is initial coin offerings and all sorts of stuff for more than a year, right? I've worked with them as a copywriter and marketer, but even I don't have an NFT wallet, right? So most people, even though they've heard about this is a huge friction point for them. This is like, oh, but this sounds complicated. Like, how do I actually receive this? I don't know. Is it a trap? Is it a scam? Something like that. So it's very important that Russell addresses this in advance. And he says, for those who have no idea what I'm talking about or even how to get an NFT, don't worry. During the event, we'll get your wallet set up and everything transferred to your account for you. It'll be super fun and easy. Again, super fun and easy. This is important. This is super fun and important because people want easy. They want quick. They want fast. They want effortless. If he were to say, you know, this is going to take 3 hours and you're going to have to do all these sophisticated things, most people are going to be like, I don't know, man, it sounds complicated. But if it's super fun and easy and we're going to do it together, they're more like, yeah, sure, like, let's do it. Finally, someone can help me at least set up a wallet for my NFTs. Or for future NFTs. So then we have another call to action. You know, you need to register ASAP so you don't miss it. It's one time only. It's a virtual summit. And then he does something very Gary Halbert-like. He says, and this is again a huge reason why I'm a huge believer of reason why copy. Whenever you can give a reason why to whatever you're doing, you're going to be way more successful with your marketing because it's just going to make logical sense. So the reason why I'm doing this is for you is twofold. Reason one, just to be cool. I mean, hey, why not? I could use the good karma. Reason two, blatant self-promotion. So this is brutal honesty. And we've seen these types of things in some Gary Halbert sales letters, especially with the dollar, like $1 grabbers. He used to... he did different versions of this, but one of the first was to attach a regular, normal, physical $1 bill to the letter itself and say, you know, why have I attached this letter? Well, first of all, I wanted to get your attention, but secondly, it's a shameless bribe, so you actually read this letter till the end because it's so important. So basically, Russell or the copywriter who actually wrote this, they're trying to mimic this, and it still works. Like it's universal, but I love it, and it's quite common for back-end promotions, and it creates a lot of rapport. It answers objections because it's radical honesty, and people appreciate that. So then we have a mini story of how Russell basically invested over $3.4 million lately in rare collectibles like out-of-print books in personal development, marketing, sales, and business books. So he's probably trying to create like an NFT library all full of these types of things. And again, I'm not an NFT expert. I don't know exactly how it works, but usually you can digitize real-world stuff like pictures or books or something like that, and then the ownership of that is stored on the blockchain, and you can buy the ownership of it. And I think that's the NFT. Ultimately, it's a non-fungible token. You cannot replicate it. But yeah, look it up if you want to learn more about NFTs. I'm not an expert here, but it is an interesting mini story. And then Russell also has these images of himself. Notice the little halos here. He seems likable, and it adds some proof that, oh wow, he's doing something weird, like doing something that's going to be the next big thing. And people who follow Russel Brunson, they probably know how he does this stuff. Like when he came up with Clickfunnels, it was something new and revolutionary, and he's probably always doing these radical new big ideas, and this one's one of them that capitalizes on the NFT craze that's happening in the world nowadays. So after this point, we even have like a straight up call to action, mini call to action to encourage consumption. Flip the page to see a few of the others that I picked up on this same trip. So you have, you know, even more stuff here, even more out of print heirloom collectibles in the marketing and self-development world that he's gonna digitize probably. So after really understanding NFTs, I now understand how to use this weird hobby / investment in all of these books to serve you. It's kind of hard to explain in a letter, but when you show up, not if, but when you show up to the live event on Tuesday, March 15th, I'll share everything. So this is important. This is like a cool transition element that makes sense because, you know, he's teasing all this good stuff. It's kind of like a secret. It also acts as like a secret lead because he's like, you know, I discovered this unique new opportunity. It's so special. I'm, you know, doing something covert that not everyone knows about, only you who are a past Funnel Hacking Live attendee. And this is very special. And at this point, it makes sense to say that, you know, it's kind of hard to explain in a letter because it is a complex topic, right? But I'll share everything with you live on this date. And then this part is just, what? It's so personality driven. I think it's just there to act as a pattern interrupt. Because at this point where towards the 2/3 of the sales letter, and some people might start to, even though this copy is really good and it's really engaging and you have all these graphical elements to keep people engaged, some people might still getting bored, right? And then you do something like boo ha 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 ha. So it's like an evil laugh. And then he even says, I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to use moo ha 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 as a subject line, and I finally got to do it. Thank you. So I don't know what's happening here, but my guess is that it's just a simple pattern interrupt. Because at this point, he came out with the main offer. This is the point of highest sales resistance in most people. So he lightens the mood with a little humor and a little personality. And I think that de-escalates the situation. So then he continues, okay, so where do we go from here? This is what you need to do right now. And the part that comes next is a really important lesson in copywriting, is that if you want people to do something, especially online, and this one's even more complicated because he wants people to go from offline to online, to start their computer, open up their browser, and follow up on the instructions. But so many things can happen in the meantime. Maybe when they open up Chrome, you know, their Facebook feed is open and they notice a message from someone and they just get sidetracked. Or YouTube is open and they just get sidetracked. Or their computer, I don't know, offers to do an update if they have Windows, and then they get sidetracked or something happens, whatever. That's why it's super important to be like very, very, very detailed in your instructions. You want to give very specific instructions. So check it out how he does it. Like literally walk to your computer, put down this letter, and follow these 4 steps now before you forget. Don't forget, there's even a lot of repetition there. Next line. Are you at your computer yet? I'm literally waiting for you. Yes. Stop reading and stand up and walk to your computer right now. Then flip to the last page for the rest of the details. Keep reading. So it's stupidly simple. It's kindergarten simple instructions, but that's what you need in an age of distractions, especially when you're getting away from the safety of this direct letter and you're getting online, you're jumping online. There are so many distractions, there's so many notifications and emails and everything going on. And that's partially one of the reasons why offline converts way worse than offline. Because on offline, once people start reading the letter, there's not that many things that can just you know, take away their attention. Sure, I mean their cat can still have an accident or something, but the chances are way slimmer. And you still need good copy regardless, but it's always way riskier when you go online. And that's why he's reminding us so many times to do this. It's genius if you think about it, and it doesn't sound like good copy, but it's a very important persuasive element to make sure that people actually follow through. So then we have the instructions. Here is what you need to do right now. Step 1, and there are 4 steps here. Step 1, we are doing this live once and only once. That means that you need to show up live. It will be, and again, it's repeated. This will be a 2-hour event, so this removes any uncertainty. Some people might feel like, oh, I don't know, but how much time do I have to block off for this? It's a 2-hour event. Okay, objection answered. So Then he says, yes, it's later at night. That way you can put the kids to bed. Actually, it's mostly so I can put my kids to bed before we hang out. Haha. That's why. That way you can show up and give me. That way you can show up and give me your entire attention. So again, very, very straightforward instructions. It's very hard to get confused by this. And that's important because a confused mind doesn't buy. You have to give them kindergarten simple instructions. So then there's the call to action here. And notice how big and ugly it is. But like people can also probably, well, not click this, but you see one more important distinction between online and offline. On online, you could just give them a button, but here you have to give them the link. And it's important to make the link very easy to understand. And it's easy, FHL NFT, super easy. But if it were like a super long link, most people would mistype it. They would get tired of typing it. It would be like a huge friction point. And I like how they actually came up with a super short link for this. And then we constantly have these scarcity elements here that you must be on the event live to claim your NFTs. Do not miss this. So again, probably this is a webinar, and I don't know whether this was truly recorded or not, but what I do know is that when it comes to webinars, it's very important to get as many people as possible to attend the webinar itself, because that's how they actually consume even more of your marketing message, and that's how they become customers, by consuming the message. But if they don't show up, or if they bounce very early on, then chances are way lower that they actually turn into customers. So I like the organic reason why they should show up, because the only way for them to get the NFT that's supposedly worth up to $10,000 is to show up live. So step 2, we're gonna like help you set up your NFT wallet, and you do this before the event starts. Super straightforward instructions, and it actually it's an objection handling element as well. Then step 3, you show up live, and we're gonna talk about NFTs. And step 4, we're gonna push these NFTs into your account, and you'll get some really cool perks with this. For example, and there's like a specific example here as well that sounds very valuable. Like you can purchase premium NFTs that I'm creating from all the old rare books months before the rest of the world. So this is important because if you know anything about NFTs, you know that you buy into the NFT, and then based on the demand for it, it appreciates in value, and then you can flip it. You can sell it later. But the only way for this to happen is to buy it before all the hype, before it's already gained in value a lot. So actually, for the right people, this is free money if you think about it, because if they can buy it before anybody else, they can probably sell it at a profit later on. Not in most cases, but I'm guessing in this case that's entirely possible. So then the final page, again, very personality-driven subhead. I'm so excited. This is going to be the coolest. So it's just Russell's proprietary high energy type of copy. Like he's always high energy. He's a very extroverted guy. And then there's another objection handling element that says, even if you're not interested, you'll still get value, because even if you have no idea what I'm talking about, and even if you hate NFTs, I'd still recommend you to come, because you can model this for your own business. So you still learn something new. And obviously Russell knows that people who show up and they hate NFTs, a lot of them are going to love NFTs at the end of it, because I'm absolutely sure that the webinar script itself is also going to be kick-ass. Like, I mean, Russel Brunson came up with the original perfect webinar script, or perfect webinar formula, or I don't know exactly how it's named, but it was kind of like a very popular webinar script that even today a lot of people are using. So he definitely knows his stuff. So I can't wait to see you on, and again, it's repeated so that there's absolutely no confusion here. Go and RSVP here ASAP. And again, there's the call to action with the easy to remember link, and reminding them of the urgency and scarcity. And the last little personal red text says free NFTs as a thank you. So again, you get an NFT, you get an NFT, and you get an NFT. It stimulates people's greed reflex, or greed glands, as Gary Halbert would say. So then we have the sign off, and then we have two PSs. The first one, don't forget, you're just one funnel away. This is kind of like a common value among people who are in Russell's world. And there's also a PPS which says, and it's very smart because it's seeding the sale for the next funnel hacking live. So even though some people might not be interested in NFTs, might not care about this offer, like even though the copy is great, some people might simply not care about the offer. It is what it is. But why not remind them? Why not seed the sale for the next event that they've been on in the past, right? So I also wanted to thank you again for attending FHL in the past. I hope that you loved the experience and that you'll join us again this year at FHL 2022 September in Orlando. So this is very smart because he's going to get a lot of extra sales just because of this this PPS. And under it, there's actually even like a soft pitch that says, note, if you don't have your tickets yet, also be sure to get them ASAP at funnelhackinglive.com. There may be a special NFT for ticket holders for this year as well. So there's like a bonus that's happening there. He teases a new bonus for them, like, hey, wink, if you buy this ticket, then you're going to probably get a free NFT in addition to this one. So definitely check it out. And again, I think this is very smart because it's a secondary soft offer for people who've already proven to be buyers of the same type of offer. And in this case, the funnel hacking live thing. So at the end, we have the all-important legal elements here. And I love that this is also like full of personality. It's absolutely personality driven. It says important NFT volatility disclosure and other notices. And most people would I don't know, be lazy about this last part, but not Russell in this case, because he says, I have to put this in because right now this NFT space is the latest craze in cryptocurrency, but I absolutely cannot guarantee the market value of your NFT now or over time. I can tell you that free is the starting price, so you don't send me any letters later, wink, or like smiley. So even this is personality driven. It makes him more likable. It builds a lot of trust, and it goes the extra distance that I think people definitely appreciate in this case. So this is especially because they can get like a one-of-a-kind collectible in this case. So yeah, that's the letter itself. And remember, the whole letter was placed in this little envelope, People's Community National Bank, because it's kind of like you getting $10,000. It's a genius promotion if you think about it, and I'm really curious to see or hear eventually how well it did, because I'm guessing it's going to pull in a lot of money here, and I think it's going to actually create like new momentum when it comes to these hybrid products like NFTs in Russell's audience. So yeah, quite a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. These are the types of long form proven sales letter breakdown videos that I usually do, and I know that YouTube doesn't really like these types of long form content pieces, but you know, you need to give it some time to analyze every single more advanced stuff that's going on here. And you know, I know it's on YouTube and it's free, and most people aren't going to watch most of the video, but for those of us who appreciate good copy and who want to dive deeper into the advanced elements behind it, for those people, I think this is definitely something valuable. And if you also agree, and if you're still watching this, then definitely hit the like button right now. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and check out the links in the description, because you're gonna find links to the entire 100-day proven sales letter breakdown challenge. I'm doing a 50-day proven email breakdown challenge. I have something called the secret copy recipe that basically takes the biggest secrets and the best kept techniques that I discovered over my 100-day journey and puts it into a neat little package that you can use in your own marketing, and a few other great videos as well. So definitely check it out. And I appreciate you watching this. Hope to see you in the next one. Cheers. Have a great day.